that good, everybody? Did we solve the problem? So, just waiting for Mark to give me a good old-fashioned thumbs up. All right, it might take a second because of buffering. Okay, so now you can see me and hear me. Excellent. So, how is everybody doing this fine, kind of gray afternoon here in the early summer of Portland, Oregon, where I will only be for a very much shorter amount of time. Thank God. Thank all the gods. So, I'm actually not going to do a reading today, partially because all but one of my books of my father's is packed. But instead, I wanted to share a little bit about what's next for me and my adventure. And I want to show you guys how I will be taking online nature education to the next level. Now, I have not perfected this new technology yet. I'm still having issue with the sound, but I want to do two things. First thing I'm going to do is show you guys a movie I recorded yesterday. And then the second thing is I'm going to actually try and get it to stream live through here, just in order to test it out and everything. But yeah, I've been thinking a lot about my father lately, um, as I truly get ready to embark upon this nomad life for reals. Um, part of me is terrified, part of me is excited to finally be around a community of, like-minded folks, a whole group of them that all really want to see me succeed. And in exchange, I get to learn how to work on ridiculously expensive audio equipment. It's like a good travel distance from a location where I'm set up and staying for, anywhere from a week to a month. Like 400 miles I'll travel, within a circle from where I am to come teach you. So yeah, so that's part of my main three missions with this 2-year road trip that I'm taking are number one, documentary about my dad and how much of an insane effect he again for the good he had on this world. And one thing I am so grateful for is that I've been speaking with my brother River again after quite a while with no communications. And um, when I went to New Jersey, it was something we were able to wrap up really easily. And I wish he would have called me 3 years ago so I could have wrapped it up then. But you know, it is what it is. Things happen the way they happen for a reason. And I don't believe in coincidence, only the illusion of coincidence. So here now, I want to show you how my father told me long ago that, or not long, let's see, how many years ago? 2008. My father told me that one day I would reach more people than he ever dreamed of. And I remember thinking, like, you're full of shit. How am I going to do that? There's no way in hell. And then, lo and behold, technologies start to improve. And excuse me for 1 second. I just pop this out. Um, yeah, technologies improve, things get better, um, and it is allowed those of us who are content creators, for the internet or wherever. We now have a literal plethora of new tools to work with when it comes to um, when it comes to putting on these productions, as I call them, or classes. And one of the main aims with this trip is going to be to um, teach my normal classes, but also do a lot of spur of the moment. Hey, in 3 hours, I'm going to be at some cool lake somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And you can follow along if you like. So it's going to be a lot of that sort of stuff. And then plus, finally, after much waiting, I was rewarded yesterday. Now, I'm going to show you a clip of the future of online nature education. However, there is no sound because I'm still trying to figure out how to get the sound synced up. So while you're watching this and me almost crashing my drone several times, um, just to see what is capable with this new technology. So check this out. And apologies for the no sound. Oops, wait, wrong one. Sorry. Nope, wrong one again. Good Lord. All right. So here I was talking about how, you know, during online education, we're normally relegated to me sitting behind a screen and you sitting behind a screen. And that is the going with the past because now I'll have the ability to do classes in such a way to where my webcam can fly and it can go all over the place. I was down at the Salmon River yesterday. It's one of my sacred areas, and there's where I almost crashed into the bank. And it's one thing about this drone is it's pretty, it doesn't go very fast, and it's got these big giant protectors on the propellers, so it's okay if it bounces off the occasional thing. Um, But yeah, so the last piece of the puzzle with this is I'm trying to figure out how to get it, because I have to broadcast the sound through Bluetooth, and I need to figure out exactly how to do that, um, which shouldn't be that difficult. But let me just put on the regular camera here again 1 second while I figure this out. All right. So yeah, so now what I want to do is attempt to do a bit of a mini test here. So there's a couple different ways you can operate this guy. So the first thing I need to try to figure out how to do is to add a um, a video capture device. Now, this is where I'm kind of getting a little squirrely. I'm assuming I should use OBS virtual camera. No, hopefully that's the right one. But no, that's not it. But yeah, so the goal is, I'm gonna record a much more well thought out movie of me walking around and talking as this thing follows me. So by plugging it directly or by using your phone only, it can only go about 30 feet from you in any direction. So, it keeps it from crashing into trees and things like that. And so I felt comfortable yesterday. I went and did a bunch of testing with it. I walked through thick woods, thin woods, everything, and it didn't have a problem following me whatsoever. So let's see if I can get this up here. But yeah, so while I'm figuring this out, so for those of you who also don't know, I mentioned this before, today or this week is the big push week for my move to Montana. And I finally rebuilt the inside of my car built a platform the exact way I wanted it instead of some plans that just didn't work out right. And I'm so thankful because no more crazy things sliding around, no more of that weird stuff. So I'm gonna just tricky part um as far as getting it to work, but there's always a workaround. All right. Let me just reconnect this. Yes, I'd like to join it. Oh, man. It helps if you turn the drone on. Huh? Yeah, I literally got this thing at like 4 or 3:30 yesterday, and I haven't had much time at all between packing and building and cleaning that next time I can guarantee you it will be far more polished. But yeah, this opens up so many more different things for us to do together as far as the online classes go. It is going to allow me to have you tracking alongside me on a beach somewhere in the middle of nowhere, in Montana, maybe, who knows. Uh, and plus, one thing I've learned with drones, especially these smaller ones, is they are amazing for um, they are amazing for just capturing the overall feel for an area. And then once you combine it with, of course, um, me being able to broadcast live, that's I think I know what's going on here. But yeah, I really wanted to show it to you guys live. But yeah, so after this phone call or later on tonight, Mark and I are going to link up, and there will be no interruption in class programs. In fact, I will be adding some more classes. Just don't want to add any new ones that are going to start until I've been in Montana for a minute and gotten settled. Because the last time I tried to do it, it didn't work out too good. But we'll have to just play it by ear, as they say. And of course, this thing has given me no problems whatsoever. Um, yeah, let's see here. I have never had one problem with this thing turning it on until I tried to do it with you guys. But yeah, so I'm still speaking of documentaries, I'm currently working on the micro documentary that is about Cassie and I's crazy cross country extravaganza that began uh on May 31st. We left at noon. Cassie drove straight through till 6 a.m. All so that we could make it in time for the celebration of my father's life. And even though I didn't get to spend as much time there as I would have liked, it was still important for me to be there, of course. And let's see here. Let's try this now. All right. So, okay. All right. So I think we've got it here now. Now, once again, I can't guarantee you anything because I'm just learning this, but I want to give you guys a brief glimpse other than that crappily put together thing from a minute ago. Let me see if I can change the properties here. I'm gonna go to OBS virtual cam. Although that's not gonna be it. So let's see here. I just don't know what to put it under. All right. Oh, wait, there we go. Let's see. Wait, now disconnect, disconnect. All right, so we're gonna do a little takeoff here. Takeoff. So I wish you guys could see on screen. I'm actually gonna make a recording here real quick that I will upload. Because once I get this figured out, oh my God, that beeping has to stop. Thank you. Um, yeah, once I get this dialed in and figured out, like I'm trying to do right now. So let's see. Now I'm gonna start live streaming. I want to see if it does anything. Oh, stream error. Okay. Well, I'll just record a short video as I wrap this up. One thing I want to say to you all is that, being with everything that's been going on around just the loss of my father and so many other things that I held dear and believed in and trusted in. And I had to make a conscious effort the other day where I literally like locked myself in my room and got it all out of my system until I couldn't cry anymore. I couldn't scream anymore. I just eventually started belting out the song from that movie about the frozen lands. Um, but after I did that, and after a fire ceremony I attended on the following Saturday after getting back, it finally got the last of the gook out, so to speak. And hopefully you can hear that. But yeah, it really helped me to grow into a person who is much more able to now just process larger amounts of information. And much of that, I mean, a huge portion of that is so many thanks to Mark, who has, like, in many ways been a lifesaver. Mark, I know you're watching. You, you, the things you've done for me, um, oh, no, stop with that. Um, yeah, the things you've done for me that normally, probably take you 15 minutes, they would take me hours to do. And I, that time that you give me back by donating your own time, um, first of all, I can't tell you how incredibly important that is to me, because time is the one thing that we can't get back, at least not yet. I did read an article the other day that said they have pretty much stopped aging in mice through CRISPR and things like that. But, giving me hours of my life back so I can create content and figure out new technologies to bring you the most epic nature programming ever, um, is important to me. And I am going to get out there on the road with a new sense of purpose and a new sense of, almost security, knowing that, like, I can call on Mark if I'm traveling and something goes wrong with the website. And by the way, everybody, if you ever stumble across anything on the website that's a typo or anything, you can blame it on Mark. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, let us know about it so we can fix it. And one last thing I want to mention before I wrap this up, and normally this would be a full-length episode, but the more work I do now means I can maybe get to bed before 3 or 4 a.m. Um, uh, main thing you can do to really help is I'm trying to spread this word about this pay what you will idea and nationwide. Very soon, I'm going to be sitting on the board of the International Online Educators Association, and that's a pretty big deal. It's not like a paid position or anything, and I'll do it with my uncle, but I'm I need to not break free of my past, but honor my past, but reach, as my father mentioned, far more people than he could have ever dreamed. So I've got the tools, I've got the peoples. Hopefully, more peoples will come, and eventually I can afford to pay them in something other than skills. And yeah, I am just in the fact that in a few days, once this U-Haul trailer hitch gets here, um, I can literally be packed and ready to go. And the next, maybe not, yeah, next Friday's T3 Reads TBjr will most likely be somewhere halfway between here and there, which is about 14 hours. Um, But other than that, unless you're in Monday's all-in-one program, which by the way is open fully for registration all the time with the remaining classes. I think I said this week with the all-in-one we're doing animal tracks and sign, which is a great class. Um, and then, got some new classes coming up, including the instinctive archery, two episode, 4 hour long class I'm going to make, and I've got other ideas coming out the brain, especially with this new technology. So now all I got to do is figure that out. So in the meantime, peace, love, joy, and purpose to you all. Thank you for popping in on this stream, and apologies for it being a short one, but I have a lot to do and very little time to do it in, and I need to move at a slow, steady pace. I can no longer be a frantic maniac. Life is too short to hurry, and when you hurry, you do stupid things, like build ridiculously over engineered platforms for your car when you could have done something much easier. So. All right, everybody, as usual, if you have any questions about anything schedule wise, website wise. Oh, I'm going to be opening up a second side of my website that is going to be a membership, to where you'll have access to books I recommend, tools, videos I've done. I'm trying to get the rights to my master class, that was paid for to be filmed by the wonderful Mrs. April Vokey. Um, and I'd like to get that up on my website so people can purchase it to download. And then another thing I'm doing is with all of my webinars, I don't even know how many of them I have at this point. I'm going to record them all kind of mini masterclass style and make those, $1 or $2 or something like that, or maybe even just like a monthly fee of, $2 a month will give you access infinitum to those sort of things. So I'm learning the ways of the internet business, and as always, the pay what you will schedule will remain intact. That is something I'm very proud of, and I didn't think it was going to be something I was going to be able to offer until much further down the road, but it's amazing how the universe works in mysterious ways. So thank you, Dad, for that idea. All right, everybody, enjoy your weekend. Peace, love, joy, and purpose. Get outside. Say hi to the wild things. Smell the trees. Hug the ferns. Say hi to all the new birds. And as always, don't forget to look up and give someone you care about a hug. Because I could really use a hug right now, but there's no one here. All right, y'all. Blessings to you all, and I will see you soon. As always, front page of my website is the prime source for news. I will see you all very soon, most likely from a random live stream I will do from the side of a road somewhere between